Yes, just a few seconds left. Good position for the Russian. So 6 points for the Russian after a nice outside sweep followed by a pin. And again, the Russian trying to move into an arm lock. She has the arm, but she doesn't have the position yet. She will try to reverse her opponent in order to secure the arm lock. Good position and good groundwork for the Russian. Well, only 6 points so far. And now it's her opponent's turn to try to attack, but it was a very good counter for the Russian. Let's see, another 2 points or nothing. Another 2 points means the end of this fight. But no, there are no points scored. And we restart right now with the Belarusian trying to attack the leg and the Russian moving into a possible arm lock. Again, she tries to secure the position. She tries to roll her opponent over. Now she has the position. Now she has the arm. Now she is attacking again. Nice position for the Russian. Good attack, and we have the arm lock. Well, the first submission in today's competition, very quickly, nice technique, very well done, very slick. And the first gold medal goes to Russia, to Galina Kashtanova. Let's watch it again. The reversal was very beautiful. And now she repositions the second leg. Look how flexible this young lady is. This is why I always like to see youth and juniors in action, because they are still very flexible. They are still kids, and you can see it. They are flexible and they are very technical. They are not so strong, and they can use their other qualities. Well, our next fight, Russia against Armenia. Nikita Bashuev from Russia in red uniform against the Armenian David Hovsepian. So in red the Russian, in blue the Armenian. Well, here we go. The first fight was a very quick and spectacular one, with a very dominant young girl from Russia. But let's see now. Armenia has a very old tradition in wrestling and fighting in general. It's one of the oldest countries in the world, and they fought everyone for more than thousands of years. Nice technique for the Russian though. You can see in that area, actually in this area, because it's not so far away from Uzbekistan, people are passionate about wrestling, and they are passionate about all types of fight sports, and you can clearly see this in Sambo. Let's not forget that Koch, the old Armenian fighting style, was one of the sports that influenced Sambo in the beginning of our martial art. So far there are 4 points for the Russian, and he tries to secure another good position, holding both his opponent's sleeves. Good positioning, nice attack for the Armenian. Well, still the same thing. Nice attack for the Armenian, but the Russian defends very well. The Armenian has to be a little bit more careful with his attacks, but no, I mean he has enough time. 2 minutes into the fight, and he still has enough time for two good throws, or maybe a throw and a pin. But the Russian is very aggressive. He puts the pressure always on his opponent. He moves forward, he attacks the legs, he attacks the arms, he attacks the sleeves. All the time he tries to control his opponent and to make him make mistakes. And still the same thing, the Armenian moving around, trying to control his opponent's sleeves. Well, the Russian is defending very well, and he's looking for another attack on the outside. Nice attack for the Armenian. Nice attempt of a fireman's carry. It didn't work for him, and the Russian now moves into an arm lock. Let's see. It's very difficult. It's very difficult from that position. This is why sometimes it's very dangerous to attempt a fireman's carry, because your arm is tucked between your opponent's legs, and he only has to turn around and to get hold of your arm. Sometimes it's very dangerous, but we saw the Armenian defending very well. Well, still the same thing. Nice attack on the leg. I don't think he's going to succeed with his leg attack, but he controls the time like this. Still on the ground. Both of them look a little bit tired, but it was a very good moment for the Russian. The Armenian looking for an inside trip. The Russian staying low, moving low, trying to attack low, and then to attack the arm lock. Nice transition, nice combination. It didn't work for him, but it wasn't a bad idea at all. 23 seconds to go, and still the Russian is controlling the fight. Less than 10 seconds, and very nice technique for the Russian. This is going to be his fight for sure. It's impossible to lose with 1 second to go. This is it. World champion from Russia. We have a lot of finals today. Four more than we had yesterday. And let's prepare for another fight. Bavudorj Basanhu from Mongolia against Daniela Kish from Romania. In red the Mongolian, in blue the Romanian.
In red uniform, Bavudorj
So here we go. In red the Mongolian, in blue the Romanian, as I said before. Very strong is the Mongolian from the get-go. Very strong grips, moving around very well. This is their main quality. All the Mongolians are extremely strong. Their grips are very, very powerful. The Romanian seems a little bit tricky right now. Technical, waiting for her opponent to get a little bit tired. She's moving around, looking for defense. Good attack for the Mongolian, who needs to get her back. And half-point deduction already. Nice attempt, the inside, and then another attempt of a sweep. Very, very beautiful defense for the Mongolian, who pins her on the ground, looking to pass for a possible pin. It didn't work. Both of them looking to set their attacks. Good defense for the Mongolian. Always the Mongolian tries to stay dominant. Well, the Romanian is looking for interesting throws. Good inside lapel grip for the Romanian. And the throw. It didn't work. It was a nice attempt though. And the Mongolian will try to attack an arm lock, but she doesn't have enough space. The Romanian spun around very quickly. Well, it was a nice counter. Nice counter, but let's see what the referee decides. Half-point deduction against the Romanian, and the Mongolian is leading now by 1 point. Tries to attack. Nice attack on the ground from the Mongolian. Nice defense this time for the Romanian, who is looking to secure an arm lock from that position. Still the same thing, and the Romanian starts to be a little bit hasty, a little bit angry, and you can see it. She tries to attack. She tries to get the grip very quickly. Yeah, and an outside trip, and then looking for the throw, and the Mongolian looking for the arm lock. She has the position. 1 minute to go. Nothing happened. Good defense for the Romanian. And again, it was a very beautiful throw for the Mongolian, who tries to pin her opponent. Yes, controlling the position. Superior strength for the Mongolian fighter. Already 2 points, and at the end of this pin, she will lead by 6 points. It's almost impossible for her to lose this fight. Yeah, 6 points for the Mongolian, who now she didn't try to attack her opponent's arm or other type of submission. She is happy with the 6 points lead. Another nice throw for the Mongolian, who controls the ground. You could clearly see the superiority of her strength. Their fighting school, very strong. They are always supremely conditioned, ready to go, ready to attack all the time with all the techniques. They are technical, they are strong, they are smart. It's a very, very good school of combat in Mongolia. But they are doing this for almost 1,000 years. Let's not forget, it's not a new thing for the Mongolians to fight everyone. And right now, this young lady becomes the world champion in Sambo.
Sambo Championships in weight category 48 kilos is Mongolia.
It was a beautiful fight with two very technical young ladies. And we prepare for our next one. This time is men's competition. Tajikistan against Kazakhstan.
Head referee of the match is Alexander, Kyrgyzstan.
This is the last fight of our first block of competition. In red from Tajikistan, Somon Sangov, and his opponent from Kazakhstan, Erasil Bakit. So in red, the fighter from Tajikistan. Well, here we go. Very calm, both of them, in the beginning of this fight. Let's see what happened. While still waiting a little bit. The referee is waiting for an official decision. They are watching right now the instant replay. Yes, here we go. Nothing happened. There are no points scored. And we restart very quickly. Nice sweep for the fighter from Tajikistan, but it didn't work. Both of them receiving half-point deductions. Well, nothing happened in this moment, and they restart. It's a very balanced fight. Both of them are technical. Both of them are good fighters, but no one takes any chance. No one risks anything. Only now the fighter from Kazakhstan tries to throw his opponent. He lost the grip in midair. And again, the same thing on his opponent. Nothing happens on the ground. And we restart. 3 minutes to go. Both of them very calm, looking for the opportunities. It didn't work. Still good defense for both of them. They are fighting very low. They try to stay very low in their positions and to control their opponent. But I think we don't have enough actions. Good attempt for the fighter from Kazakhstan, but you need to be a little bit more tricky. You need to set your technique up. It's very difficult to succeed with a double leg from that distance. And again, the same thing, both of them looking for the grips. Both of them trying to stay very low. They have similar fighting style, and probably this is why the fight is not very spectacular. But we can see a lot of interesting techniques for both of them. Nice moment, but it wasn't exactly what we were expecting to see. 1 minute to go, and still the fighter from Tajikistan is leading by 1 point. Not much, but enough. His opponent needs to do something, and he attacks. He tries to do something, but it doesn't work for him. He has the spirit, he has the will, but he's hurrying things up a little bit. Let's see. Well, it was a beautiful technique. It was a beautiful technique. I think there are going to be 2 more points. No points scored for that technique. Interesting. Again, looking for the throw is the fighter from Kazakhstan. And I think it's a point for him. Now on the ground, trying to attack the arm is... you need to stay active up to the end of the fight. You need to do everything that you can in order to win. This is it. Let's wait for the decision. Well, the victory goes to the fighter from Kazakhstan. He was more active. He had more attempts, and of course he scored one very beautiful point. This is what everything was. Yeah, it was a very difficult fight for both these young men. And we start now the award ceremony, and then we'll return with the second part of the competition. We have a lot of interesting fights. Women plus 75, men plus 87, men plus 80, men plus 100, women plus 70, men plus 81, women plus 72, and men plus 90. Well, stick with us. We are going to watch some very interesting things. But until we restart our finals, let's enjoy these award ceremonies.
Mikhail Ayrapetyyan, Arman Son, Sambo Federasyası Prezidenti.
And we restart right now with another women's final. US under 56 kilograms. Russia against Uzbekistan. For sure is going to be very, very loud here in Tashkent for this final. In red, representing Russia, Elisa Startseva, and her opponent from Uzbekistan,
In red uniform, Sibir Yekaterina, Russia. In blue uniform, Kasimova Garhat, Uzbekistan.
Gafhar Kasimova. So in red, the Russian Ekaterina Tsibert, and her opponent from Uzbekistan in blue uniform, Gafhar Kasimova. Very quickly the Russian reverses her opponent. Now she has the position for an arm lock. Let's see what's happening on the ground. Good defense for no, it didn't work. It didn't work. The Russian knew it. You could clearly see from her smile. Now she has the position. She attacks the arm. Good defense for the fighter from Uzbekistan. Very good defense, but still she is not out. The arm is there. The position is there. The Russian is attacking. And did she tap? Yes, I guess she tapped. Well, it was a very, very aggressive attack for the Russian. Ekaterina Tsibert is the winner. Very, very good technique for the Russian, and she knew she has the position. She knew she has. She was smiling all the time. She was looking for that arm. She knew that she could win by submission, and she did. Unfortunately, from this position it was very difficult to see the tap, but for sure the tap was there. And we move very quickly to our next fight, Russia against Georgia. This is very interesting. All the time that we have a fight between Russia and Georgia, things are very, very interesting because both countries have excellent sambo schools. From Russia, Abdul Muslim Mahdiev, and his opponent from Georgia, Elisbar Turkia. So the Russian in red, the Georgian in blue.
In blue uniform, Turkiye Elisbar, Georgia.
They start very quickly. The Georgian is attacking the lapel and then tries to go low to attack the legs. There we go, the same thing. One hand high, one hand low for the Georgian, while the Russian controls the position. He tries to break the grip and then he attacks again. Both of them are very strong, extremely quick for this weight class. They are still very young and they have all the qualities of young fighters. Well, again, the Georgian is doing exactly the same thing, attacking the lapel and then trying to attack the legs. Nice inside attempt for the Georgian. And again, he tries to move his opponent around and then to sweep him. And the Russian, though, is very composed, very relaxed, and as we can see, his teammates telling him, "You have to attack a little bit more." He's leading by 1 point, but he could be a little bit more aggressive. He saw what his opponent does. His opponent loves to stay close, to attack all the time, to be the aggressor. So he saw what his opponent can do, and now he can try to use this type of fighting against his opponent. And he does so. He moves a little bit to the back, and then he tries to sweep all the time. He tries to annoy his opponent, to defend very well and to annoy his opponent. Now he's on the ground trying to attack the arm. Yeah. But they are quickly stood up. Well, this was beautiful, and now controlling the back is the Russian. One and a half minutes to go, but I think there are going to be some. It's a break. I think there is a little bit of bleeding or something similar for the Russian. Maybe they clashed their heads. Now it's the nose. For sure, it's nothing serious, but he has to be taken care. He seems to be fine. And here we go, we restart. Whoa. Nice technique, 1 point. Sometimes it's very important to be the aggressor all the time, to stay busy, to attack, to pressure your opponent as much as you can, because when you are doing all that, you might get a point. And this is exactly what we saw with the Georgian tonight. 50 seconds to go, and he can win this one. Inside trip for the Georgian. 20 seconds to go. He has the arm. Let's see. They didn't stop them. overextending, but the Russian succeeded to defend himself very quickly. Yes, Georgian was had the arm, but he didn't have the position. He was struggling for position, and at that moment the Russian succeeded to yank his arm out. This is it. Let's wait for the decision. I think the Georgian won this one, and for sure, yes, he is the winner.
We start the final match in weight category 60 kilos, female juniors. Head referee of the match,
Gelen boşluğu.
Leonov Alexander, Kyrgyzstan.
Well, our next fight
Ortadaki hakem.
in women's competition.
Israel. Side referee,
Yondaki hakem.
Baktishik Kurildosh, Mongolia.
Russia against Kazakhstan. Margarita Shirainer from Russia against Akmaral Serik from Kazakhstan. In red, the Russian. In blue, the fighter from Kazakhstan.
In blue uniform, Serik Admiral, Kazakhstan.
A little bit slender is the fighter from Kazakhstan. We saw a lot of different body types, and we saw a lot of different approaches in these competitions. But let's not forget that these are very young fighters. They are still competing in youth and juniors, and there are a lot of physical changes that may happen to them until they will start their careers at the seniors. I don't know exactly. I think it's a problem with her uniform. I don't know exactly what happened, but the problem is solved very quickly. And of course the belt. Well, sometimes things like this happen. Sometimes fighters are not very careful with the uniforms. There are a lot of there's a lot of pressure, and there are a lot of emotions, especially for the young fighters. They have to change the back number also. And this might take a few moments. But everything is done with under the watchful eyes of the referees. Well, she seems to be fine. I really hope there are not going to be any problems with her demeanor right now. So, in red the Russian, in blue the fighter from Kazakhstan. And here we go. Nice attack, very violent. But there was no problem. The Russian was like a rock, staying tall, waiting to defend her arm. and now trying to dominate. Nice grip, a lot of movement for the fighter from Kazakhstan. Now she tries to overwhelm her opponent with movement and attacks, but the Russian is very composed. Nothing happens from that position, but we clearly see a change in the dynamics of this final. Even though the fighter from Kazakhstan leads by 1 point, her opponent succeeded to turn a little bit the balance. She is more aggressive right now. She succeeds to dominate. She defends very well, but she still needs to do something interesting, offensive-wise. Nice attempt, but she is too short for that technique, and her opponent is able to land in a good position and then to control the fall. And again an arm lock attempt. It doesn't work. Yeah, still 2 minutes to go from this final. Both of them looking for their favorite techniques. On the ground, the fighter from Kazakhstan, she tried a few interesting things, and she uses that position to control the ground. It's almost impossible to move her around from that position. And the Russian is a little bit lazy. She's not attacking enough. She's not trying to move her grips in order to be in a position to attack. She was looking to overpower her opponent from the get-go, and now she has the opportunity of a pin. Her opponent moves very well and succeeds to get away. And now the Russian tries to roll her over. As I said before, it's very difficult to move her from that particular position on her heels. Her point of gravity is very, very low, so it's very easy to maintain that position. Let's wait for the decision. 20 seconds more to go from this final. Yes, that could be a point. I don't know. Let's wait for the decision. When we start, there were no points scored. Last 10 seconds of the fight. One each. It was a very, very close final. The Russian moves around. She knows she is the winner. Another victory for Russia, but it was a very difficult victory for this young lady. So another gold medal for Russia. I still have one fight from the second block of competition. Russia against Georgia, men juniors under 68 kilograms. So in a red uniform representing Russia, the first to enter the arena, Ivan Agafonov, and his opponent from Georgia, Gaga Bakhtidze. Very happy seems to be Bakhtidze. He is a tall young man. It's a man under 68 kilograms, so it's a bigger weight class. So here we go, the Russian in red, the Georgian in blue. The Russian attacks very quickly, the arm lock. She has the arm, but he doesn't have the position yet. Still looking for the arm lock, still deep that grip, but the position is not there, and the Georgian succeeds to defend himself. Well, another half-point deduction against the Georgian. He needs to be a little bit more aggressive right now. But it's only 1 point, and it's very early in the fight. He still has 4 minutes to try to win this final. Nice position, nice moving around. He's looking for the arm lock. The second time that he he gets into this position, he tries to attack the arm lock. He has the arm, he has one leg in, he has to move his opponent around, he succeeds, but the Georgian moves very well. He's still in danger. He was waiting for his opponent to try to reposition. He was waiting for his opponent to reposition his second leg, and found a way out. The Georgian trainer not very happy with his student so far. The Russian is dominating, and not only by the fact that he already has 1 point, but by the way he controls the fight. There were already 2 submission attempts for the Russian, and one of those submission attempts was very close, the first one. The Georgian relies very much on pure strength. He knows he's very powerful, but he has to do a little bit more than that. He has to be more technical, and he has to attack a little bit more if he wants to win this final. Two points for the Russian so far, and his opponent is very defensive. This is going to be a very difficult final for the Georgian. He has to do a little bit more, and he doesn't seem to have so many ideas. They stay in this clinch, they fight for the grips, but the Georgian is not moving enough. He lets his opponent do the moving for him, and we can see what this means. A lot of attacks for the Russian, and very, very good defense for the Russian. He's defending so well because he controls the attacks. Nice technique, nice setup, but no point scored. Anyway, it was a very beautiful attempt. He changed the position very well. It was a nice combination. 1 minute to go. Side attack for the Russian. Unfortunately for him, his opponent is not doing anything. He's only defending, no attacks. You cannot win a gold medal like this. You have to attack, especially with 40 seconds to go. I understand his frustration, but it's only his fault. I don't know exactly what he wanted to do. I don't know exactly what he tried to achieve with this passive way of approaching the fight. "16 seconds. Well, another good effort for the Russian. He's leading by 5 points to 1. It was a good final with a lot of interesting things, but the Russian was dominating the final from the get-go, and he wins a great victory.
The winner of World Samba Championships, SAMBO Juniors,
I understand his opponent's frustration, but it was all his fault. He could have tried to fight in a different manner, and the lack of fair play in the end of the fight confirms the fact that he's still very young. He still didn't understand exactly what happened with him, but he will grow up for sure. I'm sure there were no bad intentions and no attempt to
International Samba Federation.
be
Василий Шестаков, Халкарова Samba
rude or
Federasyası
anything.
Presidenti.
He's just a kid who's very upset, and I can understand this. I can relate to this even because, of course, I was very young once.
Asya Samba Birleşmesi Vice-Presidenti.
After Tilted President of Georgian Samba Federation.
Well,
Rusya
let's prepare for the award ceremonies, and after these award ceremonies we still have 2 more competition blocks to go. Stay with us.
The bronze medals in this very category go to Pokorna Aneta, the Czech Republic, The bronze medals in this category go to Bagayeva Mashura, Uzbekistan, and Nevsky Vladislava, Ukraine. The silver medal goes to Serin Akmaral, Kazakhstan. And the gold medal goes to Shrader Margarita, Russian Federation. Please stand for the national anthem of Russian Federation. Previous participants will start the awarding ceremony for the athletes of weight category 68 kilos among juniors. The bronze medals in this weight category go to Muminov Ubaydullo, Uzbekistan, and Stanilov Maxim, Ukraine. The silver medal goes to Baktidze Gaga, Georgia. And the gold medal goes to Agafonov Ivan, Russian Federation. Ladies and gentlemen, stand for the national anthem of Russian Federation.
We restart our competition right now with another final. Again, we are in women's competition. The third block of competition, women under 70 kilograms. The fight will be between Ukraine and Russia. For Ukraine, Valeria Zakharevich, and her opponent from Russia, Anastasia Shitikova. We are waiting for the athletes to be ready to begin. And here they come. The first fighter to enter the arena from Ukraine in red, Valeria Zakharevich. And her opponent in blue, representing Russia, Anastasia Shitikova.
In red uniform, Zakharevich Valeria, Ukraine. In blue uniform, Shitikova Anastasia, Russia.
And here we go. Let's see, women under 70 kilograms. This is going to be interesting. A first attempt for the Russian, 2 points, and then she tries to pin her opponent on the ground. The Ukrainian succeeds to control the position and to get out. Another throw for the Russian, who is looking now for the arm block. She didn't find the arm, but anyway, it was a nice attempt. And again, the Russian attempting the same thing. The Ukrainian controlling very well. Well, this is an interesting fight. The Russian is so strong and so aggressive. Three points for the Russian. She attacks the lapel. Another roll. She'll try to pin her. From that position is very difficult to see exactly what's happening from that position, and it's very difficult to see it in general, because they are scrambling a lot, and it's very difficult to follow all the movements. The Russian again trying to secure her position, trying to get her opponent's belt. Nice attack. Another 2 points, I think. Yes, 2 more points for the Russian. And the half-point deduction against the Ukrainian. Well, this is a very difficult fight for the Ukrainian. The Russian is so dominant. Let's see, outside attack, and the Russian controls it very well. She's so big, so strong, so aggressive, and she uses all her qualities. Seven points for the Russian. The Ukrainian trying to attack, but she doesn't have enough strength to move her opponent. And the Russian again, very strong, uses very well her weight. The Ukrainian has to move a little bit more to unbalance her opponent, but it's very, very difficult for her. The Russian is just so strong, and I think this is it. No point scored for what happened a little bit earlier. Again, Russian looking for the belt, over the shoulder grip to the belt. She controls the arm also very well. Nothing again. Another throw, and I think this is it. It was a very beautiful technique. Yes, 4 points for the Russian, and she wins 11-0. Let's watch it again in slow motion. Now this was one of the first attacks. There was really no chance for the Ukrainians in this fight.
Ortadaki hakem yondaki hakem
Well, here we go. Another final, the second from this block of competition. Another final between Russia and Georgia. It's very interesting. We have a lot of Georgians in the finals, a lot of Russians, and a lot of Ukrainians tonight. Okay. In red uniform, Adam Utsiev from Russia, and his opponent from Georgia, Zaur Dvalashvili.
In the blue uniform, Dvalashvili Zaur, Georgia.
So in red the Russian, in blue the Georgian. Again, the Georgian is very defensive, as we saw in the previous final with the Georgian. This is their style. There are some Georgians who can pull it off. For others, it's a little bit more difficult. But they always start like this, trying to lure their opponent in, trying to see what their opponent does. They are not pressuring the opponent from the get-go, but they are waiting for their moment to try to strategize, to find a way to attack the opponent. It's a very cerebral approach, but so far it didn't work for him because the Russian already scored 2 points. the Georgian needs to dig a little bit deeper and to find a way to be the aggressor. Still, the Russian is the dominant fighter right now. He's looking for a very painful, yeah, it was a very, very painful ankle lock.
The winner in the youth small SAMBO championships in weight category 81 kilos is Adam, Russian Federation.
It was a very beautiful throw, and there were a lot of interesting setups.
Juniors are called to the centered man. Head referee.
Yılan başladı.
Ivan Yekov, Bulgaria. The center referee.
Ortadaki hakem
Zhukovets.
And this is a very, very painful ankle lock because it attacks both the ankle and the knee. Our next fight, women under 72 kilograms, from Russia, Polina Kuznetsova, and her opponent from Ukraine, Irina Lohoida. Ukrainian in blue, the Russian in red.
In red uniform, Kuznetsova Polina, Russia. In blue uniform, Lohoida Irina, Ukraine.
First attempt for the Ukrainian, and now she's looking for the arm lock. She started very aggressively this fight. A nice fight for the grips for both of them. They use similar grips. Let's see who is a little bit stronger right now. The Ukrainian seems to be a little bit stronger. A nice attempt. She controls the position on the ground. Nothing will happen from that position. Or maybe now the arm lock. No. Now the throw was good. The throw was good though, and it was scored. Yeah, I'm trying to move on the ground. We restart very quickly. Good grip for the Russian. Lapel, and she succeeded to throw her opponent 2 points, probably 2 points, and the pin. No, it was a 4-pointer. It was a 4-pointer, and now she has to hold her opponent on the ground. Yes, she's very strong. Even though the Ukrainian tried to move around, nice reversal, and now she has the arm. Let's see, 8-1 right now for the Russian, and she's looking for the arm lock. Very interesting how she set this this arm lock up. It was very interesting because she succeeded to hold her opponent in pinning position and then to attack the arm lock in the same time. Very interesting and very smart. The position helped her, but I'm pretty sure that she works this type of setups in training a lot. Nothing happens from that position. Anyway, the setup was beautiful. And we restart. 8-1 for the Russian. It was a very good go for her. Very good run for her so far. She tries to throw her opponent. Probably she will attack on her opponent's left side. Again, looking for a throw. The Ukrainian rolls around. She has the arm. We're waiting for the judge's decision right now. Yes, it wasn't scored, but it was a nice technique. 8-1 for the Russian, and 42 seconds to go. The Ukrainian is still fighting, still tries to win this one, and she knows that she needs a submission technique, and this is exactly what she tries right now. I really like to see a fighter who doesn't care how many points her opponent has, and she tries to win. She knows it's the only way to win it, by submission hold, and she tried it up to the last second of the fight. Great victory for the Russian, but she fought a very strong opponent, an opponent who didn't want to give up, even though she was not winning this fight. But I really think she has to do something with that hair. She has a beautiful hair, but she has to find a way to keep it from moving around. She tried the reversal. She tried everything. She lost, but she tried. This is exactly what we all want to see. Fighters that really fight up to the bitter end. Yes, for sure she has to do something with that hair. Well, another fight from the third block of competition. It's the last fight from the third block of competition, and then we'll have the award ceremonies, and then we return with the last block. And again, Russia against Ukraine. Maybe now the Ukrainians will win this one. They have another chance. So far, the Russia leads in this unofficial competition between the best finalists so far, because for sure Team Ukraine and Team Russia are the best teams in this World Championship. So in red, the Russian Azmet Tlez, and his opponent from Ukraine, Yaroslav Davidchuk. Very tall is the Ukrainian in blue. It's man under 90 kilograms. Oh, beautiful reversal. The Ukrainian is so strong. And he's looking for the arm. Maybe he has the arm, I don't know. From that position it's very difficult to see. But the referee can see it very clearly, and he lets them try to fight on the ground. Nice reversal. He doesn't have the best position, but he's fighting for the position. The Russian knows this and tries to pull that leg away. The Ukrainian succeeds to lock his legs, and now it's very difficult for Russian to defend. He knows this. He moves with his belly down. The Ukrainian reverses it. This is such a difficult moment for both of them. The Ukrainian changing the angle of his attack. The Russian moving around again into the defense, and for sure the Ukrainian will try to reverse him again. The same thing. And now it's a better position for the Ukrainian, but the Russian succeeded to move out of harm's way in the last second, in the very last moment. Well, this is so interesting, and they fought so well, and they knew exactly what they wanted to do, and they defend. The Russian defended so beautifully, and the Ukrainian attacked so beautifully. It's such a joy to watch this young men fighting. Again, we restart. It was half-point deduction against the Russian, and now the Ukrainian trying to control the work on the ground. And again, no, he has the pin right now. He has the pin. Well, 2 points for the Ukrainians so far. He's so big and strong. No, there are 6 points, excuse me, because the pin was scored, and there were 2 points before this. 6-0. The Russian has to do something, and he has to do something quick. Otherwise, it's going to be a very, very difficult day for him. He already has half-point deduction. For sure the Ukrainian will try to throw him again. He will not be looking for a submission hold unless the submission hold presents itself. He only needs a 2-point throw in order to win this one. But I was mistaken. Ukrainian really was looking for an ankle lock. He was looking for a rolling ankle lock. And again, rolling into position. Nothing happens. Yes, and They restart. Again, good lapel grips for both of them. Trying to stay tall, trying to stay strong. I think it's going to be another half-point deduction against the Russian. This could only mean one more point for the Ukrainian. But let's wait for them to be to adjust their uniforms. I would love to see the referee's gestures. No, nothing happens. 1.5 minutes to go. The Ukrainian is controlling the fight, and the Russian has to attack. Actually, it's not impossible for him to win this one. He needs a good throw, with a 2-point throw, and then he needs to pin his opponent, or maybe a 4-point throw and then the pin. It's not impossible. It is highly unlikely, but it's not impossible. And the Ukrainian is looking now for an ankle lock. Yes, he has the leg. The Russian doesn't seem to be very affected by this position. He tries to yank his leg out. Nothing happens from that position. We saw that there was actually no pain for the Russian. We restart, 30 seconds to go. And another deduction, but it doesn't matter. The Ukrainian won this one so far. It is impossible to pin him because he doesn't have enough time, and the Russian doesn't have enough time to pin him, but he can score some more points like this one. This is the end of the fight. It was a beautiful fight, especially the beginning of the fight, when the Ukrainian was very strong and very aggressive. He succeeded to throw his opponent very well and then to pin him on the ground. And then he got a little bit tired. And this is why the fight was not so spectacular in the last moments. But anyway, a victory for Ukraine. Yaroslav Davidchuk is the new world champion. Don't go anywhere. We still have four more fights. But until then, we let us watch together the award ceremonies. 4 more fights to go in today's competition. Women plus 75, men plus 87, men plus 80, and men plus 100. So stay with us. After this award ceremony, we will return to the mats with the last 4 fights of the evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, we start the running ceremony for the athlete in weight category 81 kilos. The bronze medals go to Nagana Turkmenistan and
Başlığı
Bukval Viktor, Belarus, the center referee of the match.
ortadaki hakem
Javier Ismailov, Azerbaijan, and the side referee of the match,
yandaki hakem
Felix Kavkauskas, Lithuania.
Well, we return to our competition with the last four fights.
In red uniform, Startseva Elite
It's
Russian
the last block of
uniform,
today's finals. In red, representing Russia, Elise Startseva, and her opponent from Ukraine, Katerina Chovhun. It's another chance for Ukraine to win. I didn't keep the unofficial score in direct confrontations between Russia and Ukraine, because they are for sure the best teams in this competition. But I think Russia is leading right now. Ukrainian in blue trying to attack. Oh, this was a beautiful setup for an arm block. She has the arm and the tap. And the tap. So another victory for Russia. Very, very quick victory. Now it wasn't a tap. Very, very strange. Very strange. I was sure it was a tap. Otherwise, why would the Russian fighter let the hand go? But anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's say it was my mistake. The setup was nice anyway. Now another throwing attempt for the Ukrainian. Again on the ground, but there is not going to be a pin. Well, straight into the pin. No, there is no pin. There is another attempt of an arm block. She's trying to open the grip, moving side to side, controlling the head. The grip is very good, though. The Ukrainian is holding very well with both of her hands. She has to break. First, she has to have break. It's the right hand, so she has to break the left hand's grip, because that is it. Yes, she succeeded to break the left hand's grip. The right hand is only with the fingers, so easier to break. And the Russian is moving around. No, she didn't break. She didn't break the left hand. I don't think it's going to be an unlock from this position. It's almost impossible to break the grip. Not like this. Not like this. Attacking with the weight of the body and the strength. She had the arm. She has the position. She had to attack first the left hand and to open that grip because the left hand was holding very well. Yeah, half-point deduction. So it's good for the Russian, but it wasn't the best submission strategy there. She was relying only on her body weight and on her strength. Sometimes it's not enough because you have to attack the weakest part of your opponent's grip, and always the weakest part is represented by fingers. Five more seconds to go. And this is it. Victory for Russia. Elis Startseva. I don't really understand what happened with the first submission hold, but it really doesn't matter. Well, let's watch it again. Position is good. No, I really don't understand what happened there, but really it doesn't matter because it is the same outcome. Let's say it was my mistake. I thought I saw the tap, but the tap wasn't there. Well, let's move on. Let's move on, men. Under plus 87 kilograms. From Georgia in red uniform, Jumben Kolhitashvili, and his opponent in blue from Russia, Yosif Simin. Another fight between Russia and Georgia. But don't go away, we still have two more finals to go, except this one, so three more finals. So the Georgian in red, the Russian in blue. Nice grip for the Georgian. He tries to control the body of his opponent. The Russian attacked the legs. Whoa! This is what means to be powerful and to know how to use your weight. It was a power double. It started as a single leg and it turned into a power double. And again, the Russian uses a very beautiful and sneaky technique. Sneaky and beautiful attack. Let's see how many points. No point scored for this one, but it was a beautiful technique. Yes, because he didn't fall on his back. And again, a nice setup for the Russian. He's very explosive. These are big boys and strong fighters, and you can see this. Still looking for their grips. A beautiful attempt for the Russian, and now he tries to attack the arm lock, but it's very difficult. The Georgian was waiting for that technique, and he knew how to defend his arm. But there are 5 points for the Russian right now, and he's still controlling the fight. For 5 points for the Russian, and we are waiting for the judges to decide what happened. Well, here we go. Half point deduction against the Russian again. And the body control, looking for the arm lock, is the Russian. He has the arm. Yes, and it was a tap. This time it was a tap. I was waiting to see the decision before saying anything, because I was wrong last time. Great fight for this big and strong young man from Russia. For sure we are going to see him in the future. Josip Simin. That was the power takedown. Well, 2 more fights to go from today's competition. And this is the first one. Women plus 80 from Russia. Albina Cholombitko, and her opponent from Kazakhstan, Abenova Aralim. Yes, Arailim. The Russian in red, the fighter from Kazakhstan in blue. We saw her in the past. She's a very strong young lady. So here we go. First attempt for fighter from Kazakhstan. The Russian stays low, stays strong, trying to control her opponent's body. This time the Russian tries to throw her opponent, but it doesn't work. And the fight restarts. She'll try to reverse her to pin her on the ground, but now the referee says they have to break up and to stand up. Still on the ground. The Russian leads by 4 points right now, and she tries to reverse her opponent for the pin. She has the pin, and the countdown starts now. Generally, when you achieve this position, it's all over for your opponent. The Russian tries to hold her, and she does, for another 4 points and the victory. Another gold medal goes to Russia. And we still have one more final to go. Don't go anywhere, because this is the final of the big boys, the real big boys, plus 100 juniors from Mongolia and Russia. But let's watch again the first technique for the Russian, and then the pin. So this gold medal goes to Albina Cholombitka. And this is the last final of the evening. Don't forget, tomorrow we still have 12 more finals to see, 12 more weight classes. We will start a little bit earlier. It's going to be 3 o'clock Tashkent time. But for sure you are already ready for tomorrow events. But until then, let's watch Gantulga Nigmartseren from Mongolia fighting again Islam Akarashev from Russia. The Russian in blue, the Mongolian in red. This is juniors men plus 100, the last final of the evening. We are waiting for the commission to be ready. I don't know exactly what happened, but we are waiting for something. I guess it's just yes, there was nothing serious. And here we go. In blue, the Russian, in red, the Mongolian. Already one gold medal for Mongolia tonight. Maybe this is going to be the second one. Only these two strong young men will decide. The Russian attacks very quickly. Look how strong the Mongolian is. Look how easily he controlled his opponent's lapel, and he held him up. The Russian trying to sweep his opponent. Good grabs for both of them, but they are stopped. There were very few attempts so far. The Russian tried to throw his opponent, while the Mongolian was relying more on sweeps. inside, an inside attack, and let's see how many points. Well, it was a good attempt for the Mongolian, but a good counter for the Russian, and we see the first point for Russia. And another attack for the Russian, 2 points this time. So it's 3-0 right now for the Russian. He will try to reverse the Mongolian right now. He doesn't have the arm though. Don't forget, tomorrow we start a little bit earlier. One hour earlier, actually. And we will have 12 finals, the last weight classes. And also, please join us in the morning for the qualifying events. You can watch everything that is happening in Tashkent right here. Still the Russian trying to control the fight, to move around. Well, nothing happened. This time the Mongolian attacks nicely, but it was not enough. He controlled his opponent's side. He tried to pull him down, but it didn't work. And again, the Russian trying to pin him. Doesn't have the position, but right now he's moving towards his head. He has him in the position. Yes, it's very difficult right now for the Mongolian to move. He tries to push with his hand, but the Russian moves forward, leaning on his opponent, and this is it. Another gold medal for Russia. This was the first, the last final of today's competition, and it ended beautifully. Yesterday we had a lot of victory on points. Today we had a lot of pinning and a lot of submission holds, and this is what I like so much, to see all kinds of techniques, all kinds of different way of winning the fights, because this is such a rich sport with so many possibilities, so many ways to win. Well, this was our last final. Another victory for Russia. We still have 4 award ceremonies, but don't forget, tomorrow we will have the last day of competition from here, from beautiful Tashkent in Uzbekistan. Until then, let's watch the award ceremonies, and let's be happy for the winners of today's competition.